G'day guys, welcome to the mailbag previewing Underwood Stakes Day from Caulfield. We have a huge in on the show, guys. We've actually, first time we've ever had a celebrity, is it? It's certainly not Ross. The best hair in racing, who you're just going out shot there, mate. Snuggle up. He messaged me during the week, getting a haircut, a fresh cut, best hair in racing, and you've opted to go with the beanie.
Well,
why is that?
Because I didn't have time to do my hair, because I had to change the downlight.
Have you seen anything scarier in recent time, boys, than Roscoe hovering on top of a chair trying to do the light? He leaves a little bit on the front, he told me, just so he can work with it. Need to have something to work with.
As I explained, to have 3 cowlicks, it makes life very difficult.
Yeah, big guest, big free agent in the AFL. JJ, very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I can't promise I can add too much insight, but we'll give it a crack.
You know what you're talking about. You're a racing fan.
Vaguely, yeah. I was at the Tony McAvoy stables yesterday morning, and he gave me some good oil at Bendigo, actually. So I'm basically just going to regurgitate what he told me.
Did he mention Ballabeel?
Yes.
Very, very frustrating result for myself that race, wasn't it, Ross?
Very much so.
He did tell me it would win, so you're paying there.
Has he got anything that we should share now, or he's keeping it all?
No, there's one. We'll save a little bit later if we get to it. Big price too. Big price.
All right, little Joshy, not little Josh and big Josh. It's pretty masculine, to be honest, partners, to sit next to the massive beast that is JJ, and that's myself. I'm 6 foot, just a beaten old man. You're a young man in your prime. This can't be sort of
not much scope for that.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting behind a desk all day and crunch numbers.
You're a big gym man.
Yeah, sort of.
Now, it's a pretty big meeting on Sunday. We're going to do the Group 1 at Moonee Valley and hope to God, Allah, Buddha and Zeus that this thing gets uploaded in time for the meeting tonight. Should we talk footy first, though?
I think so. It's appropriate. Grand final tomorrow.
Do you want to host the footy segment?
No, I think you can ask the questions. I talk to him every day, so he's probably sick of talking to me. But
so, you're a free agent now?
No, I'm not a free agent. I've got 24 months to go. 25 months to go on contract. Well, I've still got a little bit, one more to go, I reckon. So 2 years to go after this year. So,
but you're looking to get back to Victoria.
Well, I'd say that's likely. Yeah.
You're sick of not being able to drink the tap water over there.
I'll tell you what I'm sick of. I'm sick of not being able to put notes in the slot machines. You can't do that. You can't do that in Adelaide. You've got to go and put the note in and get the cup of coins.
Have you still got to fill in the sheet and the
no smart machines over in SA.
We should probably send Ross over there and bring you here.
She's tough work over there. Honestly, it's been a great 8 years. I've been there 8 years. I've had 7 fantastic years, 1 tough year. So it looks likely that I'll be maybe in Victoria. Could be in Perth, could be in the Goldie, could be
in
anywhere.
Sydney.
Could be in Sydney.
With Bud.
Could be with the reigning premiers if the Giants get up. Don't know. I've deliberately tried to wait for the whole season to finish.
Yep.
Because I think it's a bit rude to interfere with teams and try and get interest from teams when they're still trying to play footy and win finals.
Yeah. How much more footy do you think you got in you?
A fair bit, because I didn't debut till I was 23. A lot of guys debut when they're 18, 19. So. Naturally I've got 4 or 5 less pre-seasons under my belt than typically than most guys my age. So I'd like to think I'm a pretty durable character. I don't miss training and don't miss many games through injury. So touch wood.
It's country boy in you, eh?
2 or 3 more years at least.
Are you a Swan Hill boy as well?
I am. Yep. Born and bred about 10 minutes out of Swan Hill.
I've been to Swan Hill once.
What did you think? Not a bad spot.
I enjoyed the experience, but I almost died twice in 3 days. So, 3 times if you count the hangover.
Ross involved in.
Ross went missing on one of them when a local tried to kill me.
Right.
But then on the way home, we had a cow try and kill us on the highway. So,
right.
Swan Hill was eventful for myself.
Leave it there.
That's probably enough.
We did get to. I did take you out to visit one of JJ's personal sponsors when we were in the Hill. Barrels nightclub and bar. Got the jumper hanging up in the cocktail bar.
No, it was a big weekend down there in Swan Hill. All right, Granny boys, let's quickly do it. Josh, opinion's kind of irrelevant little Josh.
Oh right.
As he's a massive Richmond fan.
Ah.
Excited or nervous or?
Nervous, more nervous than I was.
Have you got a ticket?
I always thought, yeah, got a ticket. I was pretty nervous this week. After last week, I thought we wanted to play GWS, but I think Collingwood would have been maybe a better option. They're pretty fired up now. We're winning 4 on the road in a final series, probably never been done before.
I thought if GWS are able
up.
to maintain that relentless attack on the contest,
Yeah.
it's theirs. But to do that again after what they've been through would be probably unlikely to.
What did you
maintain
mention at
forward.
dinner the other night, JJ, about the heavy track? And
Well,
that
I likened it
versus-
to a horse race and say Richmond went around $1.20 and sat in the box seat. I know they were behind, but they did it. They did it on their ear, and GWS were probably 3 wide the trip. They fell in, and I've played in those games where for 10 minutes it was a slog to try and save the game. So, and they've had a day less rest and a plane trip. So
2.
plenty of it's right. Yeah, got to get home and then get back. So plenty of things in Richmond's favour, and I honestly think I'm heading home. I won't be sticking around for it. I honestly think I think they'll probably space them in the end, Richmond.
Okay, be cool. Good call. Ross?
Yeah, I'm with him. I think it's either Richmond by how far. If they get on top early, the other mob won't be able to peg them back. They'll just run away with it. But it's a grand final. I thought another side was a moral 2 years ago, but let's not go there.
I just think the only
No,
hope for
that's not
GWS, if it's a little bit windy, a little bit wet, and like Tom Lynch has like 3 set shots in the first quarter, misses 3, start to get a bit wobbly, the game really tightens up, that'll suit GWS because
Yeah.
they've got nothing to lose.
That-
Whereas Richmond are it's like Collingwood last week, this is kind of like theirs already.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather holds up. It's been shocking today.
I bet the sun's probably out right now. It wouldn't look like it's Melbourne.
Plays into more favour of Richmond if it rains.
No, less, much less.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Don't know.
Well, Richmond are the best wet weather side in the comp, don't you think, Jay? I
They
think
play a
they are.
style. They don't play in the wet that much, to be honest. They do play that knock-on style, which should suit. They play a territory game. Let's hope it's not wet.
All right, boys, let's kick into the races. We're going to head to the Valley tonight. We're going to do one race. We're going to do the Moir. The market for the Moir looks like this. We've got Nature Strip on the drift out to $3.40. Sunlight firming a little bit in the last hour or two into $5.50. Trekking $6.50. The Bostonian 12s, much longer the rest. Ross, has anything taken your fancy here in the big Group 1 at the Valley? How good is it to get back to the Valley?
Can't
Cardinal
wait.
Racing, outstanding stuff.
Cannot wait. Love night racing at the Valley. I have one question for you. How will the track play? Do we know tonight?
Well, Simon Z, this got a little tweet, Josh, didn't they? Just make you know it yesterday.
Yeah, that was-
Very excited.
yeah.
I reckon it's the best here in racing outside of
It's
Roscoe.
a very like sketchy account too, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the tick of approval.
He'd be a serious operator.
It's called like Simon 54321 maybe. Like
I think if anything, depending on the rain, the rail might be slightly inferior, and they'll try and get off it.
Okay. Well, that sort of potentially vetoes my thing because I think
And just to be clear, the last 2 meetings at Moonee Valley has been a disadvantage to some extent to be making ground on the corner. The wider you got, the harder it was.
well that
So if that's the case tonight, it's going to rule out a bunch of them.
well that's what like I just keep going back to the last time the three of us were at the Valley together, and it was just those lanes out wide and in the middle were no good. I want to be with Nature Strip. I just think 1,000 metres, like they're worried about him missing the kick. Like even if he's half a length slow, and he bustles, he'll just be too fast for him. Like, and I didn't want to cop sub $3 to find out, but like I feel it probably, I might cop $3.50, but fair. Like
I think
happy
the
days.
softening in the market is a reflection of the general vibe that the horse is going to be restrained to the coffin box or the box seat, depending how you look at it, which could be inferior. He'll then be slammed on the fence and need luck. I think that's the only reason this horse is drifting, because if it was drawn 4 or 5 and was going to just bang and lead, it's $2.20 chance in this field on its punnyform.com.au data. Josh,
Well, I was at Tony McAvoy's yesterday, so
Team Sunlight.
where else can I go? Ross and I were talking about her. What did you say, Ross? You thought she'd earn what, $2 million?
Yeah, what I said, she won't over a couple of
4.4
million.
million she's put away, and I
Yeah.
still think she's somewhat underrated. She's got 4.4 million behind her. She's wide, so she's going to be. I'm
That could
interested
well
to
be
see
an advantage.
where she lands in the run. Typically, she's won most of her good races up on the.
So the
on
last
premises.
meeting at Moonee Valley, I would have rather been 3 wide than fence in run. This is just a 1,000-metre dash, so they're coming down the side, one corner, straight home.
And her second up, she's unbeaten second up, but Tony did say yesterday that that's all at 1,200. Obviously, dropped back a furlong. So, interested. I'd probably like a little bit better than $5. Might get it. If we do, I'll have a bet.
Betting will be fascinating this race. Little
Yep.
rush.
So yeah, basically we've touched on what I think will happen in the race. Fast pace, plenty of speed in the race. Don't know what could possibly, Eduardo could even kick up ahead of Ball and Muscle. Ball and Muscle got a lot of early speed, but Flattenall will be wide cast. So I really want to be taking on those front runners. Probably something like Sunlight that's got the cover, but for me it's not the price. But this was a 1,200 metre race because I think Bostonian would be a great bet, probably half the price. Probably looking at Booker with Ollie staying on. Touched on that today with Jack saying how it's a rare thing for Ollie to sort of ride for that stable, especially staying on the horse after it just had no luck last start. But also a bit wary of the form coming out of the Flattenall race. They didn't run time, condensed margins. I just don't know what to think of that sort of a race. Bonds away stopped in it. Obviously a lot of support for trekking, but I couldn't even get it close to the price. So probably Booker, even 1 by 3 if we're getting a good place price.
I think I couldn't agree more. Booker. I think I can't back Nature Strip because I don't trust the connections to ride the horse properly. I think it'll be in the coffin. I've got it like one back on the fence. I think Eduardo will probably lead, and it could well just keep going. It's a horse that's run huge time. If they don't slow it down, it'll just keep going. Ball of Muscle's underrated. I think Assertive Approach is odds in this race to do something from 14. It will be in that 3 wide line, maybe with cover, with the horse like Fat Man and Sunlight. It's the sort of horse on the up in this race. But I think if you're an each way punter, Booker's the most bomb-proof bet here. It's just going to get a really nice run from barrier 4, Ollie on. It missed the last start, and then went to the worst part on the track. So it can really improve. Right, that's the Moir. We head across now to Caulfield, where we're going to do races 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the 2 preludes, the Sir Rupert Clark and race 8, whichever it's called. Race 5, punters, Dalasan, $2.50. Alligator Blood. It's a weird name. $5. Express Pass, Benny Gladrap Mellum at $10. Rocca Basinarama Rara, $13. Super Seth, $15. Strasbourg, 18s. Hilo 17s, and Your Deal 23s. Longer the rest. This is a deep race outside the favourite. Roscoe Sot, Best Town Racing. Have you got anything for the punters?
Well, personally, I am keen to see Your Deal in this race second up for the Hayes camp because I actually backed it the previous race for the Guineas and it didn't shorten, but I still think that race was probably inconclusive, so I'll make my mind up on it after tomorrow's run. That's one thing.
Where do you lob from 14?
Yeah, probably cast. So that's where, a horse like Express Pass is probably the safer bet. It's probably more of a betting option for me. I think it's one that I'll have as a winner for me, but personally I have a vested interest in Your Deal. I'm keen to see it second up, but yeah, from 14 it could be cast.
JJ?
I'm going to stick with Hilo or Hilo?
Mate, if you haven't watched many of our shows, our pronunciation of horse names is like made it great.
Well, it's Blue Army, which is a tick for me, and I backed him at his last 2, so he's well and truly in front with me. $14, $15, happy to back him each way.
Sort of progressive,
yeah,
progressive on
big
the up.
jump for him. If some horses are just good enough, and after the fact we think, well, it was $15, I should have backed him. So
his price, that draw versus his pattern, I think it makes sense to me. He's going to be near the front, making his own luck, and if he has got ability, he's going to show it today, yeah, and you're going to get the price.
Beautiful.
Josh. I don't want to call you Little Josh, but you're next time.
I think,
man.
I don't know, I didn't know what to think of the Dalasan race last start. Flemington were there.
Bit boatish.
Yeah, sort of boatish. Express Path was probably the best run of that race, which is scary if you sort of want to weigh that form up into this one, but I'd be happy to back Express. I think it's got quite a bit of ability, plenty of speed on. I don't think it's been in a race when there's been too much speed on at this sort of a level, so this will build up a nice speed for it. So for me, like Dalasan, probably going to end up in the coffin. At the price, I'd be laying. I've also looked into Alligator Blood a bit, watched some of the replays of it up in the sunny coast. The runs were okay. Like bro, everything on the data says it's good, but for me it just doesn't. It's nothing crazy for the
What did you
price.
make of Defiant Dancer, who was up against Soul Patch and that? It opened favourite in race 2 Flemington Wednesday. They scratched for this.
Yeah.
Odd.
It's odd, isn't
It's
it?
a decent yard. Like,
It'll be there. It'll be there in the finish, but I just don't know.
what they do from 13, scary
Well,
behaviour.
he goes back and he goes back. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be like that bunch finish across the line. But yeah, for me, probably just Express Path. A little bit of interest at odds, probably Shotmaker. Sort of a spruik about this horse getting up to 1400.
But it was half like we've been half a bit of a Shotmaker fan.
Yeah.
It was half suited.
JJ's been in that corner, haven't you, before?
I don't think I have I?
You had a tick for it early in prep, didn't you? Isn't it that?
I've had a lot of tips.
Isn't it?
I'd imagine
not
with
many of them.
operating in the sort of circles you do, you'd get a lot of information.
Yeah, you got to learn to filter.
Yeah.
That's the important thing, because people always want to be the one that say, I gave you that tip. So filtering is important. I filter most of Ross's off to the exits.
Oh, the banging man. I thought Shotmaker almost deserves another chance given it's drawn 7. Express Pass was like click through its gears at Flemington, but didn't go past it. Just clicked through the gears. It's not gonna. It's gonna have to circle them here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anything from that. The only horse I could see improving with a miracle ride is Super Seth, because he could improve from the mounting yard. But it's drawn 15 and probably cast here. I think Dalasan will probably kill him. I've searched and searched for an angle here. Creator was huge, late, but it had a gigantic SP and the map's awful. If something can like lead easily, then maybe it's gonna like run a hole. And if you can figure out the map when because there's a couple of double noms here, we can maybe have an each way bet at something bigger odds. But Dalasan from 4, she just needs to jump cleanly, not be too far back, bide her time, and she's gonna win.
Yeah, and it'll improve off the Flemington win, won't it? And
It's almost a barrier trial. She was just hanging on.
Yeah.
I'm not bagging her or the ride, but she didn't need to do anything. She was just like,
Demonstrate,
killed them.
you know.
South Australian horse gives it a length too.
well, they love the flow. So yeah, it improves them. Race number 6, Punters. It's over. Sorry, guys. It's over 400 metres. It's 1,000 guineas prelude. Flit, Hugh Bowman, $4 and favourite. Missile Mantra at 550. Tenley, K McAvoy 550. Liar L Curry 9s. Acting T Berry 13. Snap Dancer Carmen Sandiego form, who was unable to win for Sitachuka. Painful $10. Longer the rest. Ross, interested at all here?
Yeah. Once again, can't wait to get to Caulfield to see this prelude.
Just set up in the Mailbags punting syndicate camp.
It's right, just upstairs in the grouse.
GA, we're not.
No,
snobs.
in the grouse spot.
Casual dress.
Casual dress. Betfair trackies. Flick is probably, I love Flick as a horse, but probably a little bit short for me. Tenley is the one that I'll be with on Sunday, from the Flemington run, held up. Map's good, barrier 5, so just a bit safer at the price for me than
You were dribbling about Tenley for about 3 days after the Flemington run.
Yeah, well.
You're big in the Tenley camp.
Yeah, so that'll be if it wins Sunday, definitely I'll be winning.
JJ?
Live for me, quick backup. Was good last week. I've heard them say late they were going to just ride her pretty quiet. She thought she was pretty
they
good.
certainly did.
They certainly did. But she performed all right. So again, getting a good each way, probably double figure price to find out. So each way bet for me. Quality filly last season. So happy to be with her.
I thought there's a bunch of horses that can win the race, like Missile Mantra, etc. I think Tenley's a borderline each way moral here, just because of the map. Drawn 5, if it's on pace, he can get closer than he was at Flemington. If he doesn't need to, he doesn't have to. Horses like Liar, Flit, Missile Mantra, Sion, I don't like the way they're going to have to be ridden. Snap Dancer was enormous at Flemington, 3 wide and cast. It's a big step up again from where it started, like a Ballarat synthetic win. But it's going to be there or thereabouts. Linda's gotten off Acting to get on here. Acting gets a really soft lead here, but Tommy Berry will just rip the handbrake as hard as he can, which will let horses run on. So, but I'm assuming the riders of the horses like Tenley will be smart enough to predict that the handbrake will come and they'll be able to build momentum. There will be an anchor drop in this race, I'm sure of it. The horse that could be like a flashing light here and a big performance out of the box is La Falaise. I think it sort of done a little bit to suggest it's got ability. Awful camp, but horse that looks like it's got some ability. Race number 8 is...
Did you get Josh's tip? I don't know.
Did I?
Yeah, it's Tenley as well for me.
Did I
Like McAvoy goes on. If anyone out there hasn't watched the footage of it from his last run, pull it up. Like Craig, I don't know what he does, but he's lost. He's like, the GPS isn't working, and he comes to the outside. Like, why is he going to the outside? And he comes back to the inside and loses, a few lengths, and probably easily wins that race.
And from 5,
Yeah,
if Tommy Berry does just clamp the handbrake on,
yeah,
he should just be in the line that's rolling forward.
yeah.
The fence should be
One off.
stopping.
Yeah.
He should be one off.
Yeah.
If he finds a fence, abort. Betfair.com.au in play. Just lay. Race number 7, the Sir Rupert Clark. The Underwood Stakes. Sir Rupert Clark was last week. The market looks like this: Homesman $2.70, Hartnell $4.60, Gatting off a 100 to 1 SP is now $4.80. The Chosen One, D-Lane 6, $12, Canedna 18s, Humidor 19s, along with the rest. Ross, go.
Wasn't sure about this race. Probably stick with the Old Warrior, one of JJ's favourite horses of all time. Hartnell, so I might be sneaking in and taking his tip before him. That was my hope anyway. Gets Huey, 1800. He's the safest play for me, but I wouldn't be surprised if a number of horses won.
JJ?
Don't know if he's still got it under the hood, Hartnell, anymore.
He got through the line.
He's running well,
He
but
got
I
through
don't.
the line like he's still
The
chasing
only
it.
thing I'll say is I don't think this is a super deep race, and I'm with Homesman. He was dominant, winning last start. It's short, but I don't I can't really find second, third, fourth favourites. As I said, I'm not with Hartnell. No for Humidor, Blackheart Barton on factor in this, so I can't really find anything else to perhaps Harlem might win another race at 100 to 1, but honestly couldn't go outside of Homesman, particularly the way he went last start, and I hope and like his chances in a Cox Plate if he goes that way, so I'd like to see him win.
He won the race actually. I think he's in the Cox Plate of winning that other race.
Yeah.
Well, if he,
That was a close.
I haven't heard absolute confirmation if he's going to
I'm
go
not sure
or
on the
not.
order of entry, but
I think he's in.
I'm pretty sure that's
He's in his mind, but he'd want to be winning tomorrow, I reckon.
Young Josh.
For me, Homesman could win this quite easily, but for me, it's all about value. I've marked it Homesman probably about 3.2, especially with the map. It's a bit of a question.
The map's the chinky. It was completely blessed.
It's a bit
last
scary,
night.
especially if you get stuck wide going around the bend at Caulfield. Don't know what the winds will be like, but that could play a part as well. So for me, probably steering away from tipping into that. Just want to say, Trap for Fools, not a horse that I tip.
Oh, no,
But-
hang on.
but
Hang on.
I have found
Hang on.
this is second to Avilius, track and distance last prep. If there's any sort of leader bias on this day, which there can be at Caulfield of recent, I will be sort of having a small bet on it because it's currently $71. Another one for me is that the Chosen One run, huge.
Oh, enormous.
However, I think it needs 2,000. It's needed 2,000, and it's sort of early. It was in the Sydney Cup.
Yeah, some good Sydney race.
Ran third in the Sydney Cup. So I think it's just an out and out stayer. So probably 800 is a bit sharp. And Super Titus, I wouldn't be completely ignoring at the price.
You got to ignore last week.
Yeah, completely ignore, and it's backing up and down in distance, which I love.
Don't give away everything, Josh.
That's just a nice
Your
little
pen's
setup.
out at home. You just give away all the pearls here.
Nice little setup. So, and you can't even dismiss Canada's been flying home late too, and she's getting out to a proper distance now. So, it's a tricky race. But I'll be looking at some of the value in the race for me.
It feels like one of those races, doesn't it? 40, 50 to 1 winner.
Well,
If you're not with Homesman.
the race is all about the first 300 metres, provided there's no scratchings. If Trapper Falls, Yucatan, Galo Chop, Gatting, and Homesman roll forward, it'll be a proper race, and I think it'll throw up a result. If Paul Gatt, or whatever his name is, sneaks on Trapper Falls, Galo Chop's negative from 12, it'll be a much slower tempo.
We just had the jockey from. Who's the jockey on Trapper Falls?
Isn't it P. Gatt or something?
Peter
Hall.
Hall, isn't it?
P. Hall. Well, don't know who he is, really.
Yucatan would be tired if he's rolling forward on Sunday.
Yeah. But that
Because he's racing tonight, isn't
yeah, but he might scratch. Has he been scratched?
he? No.
Nah, it's still in tonight's
Hey,
isn't it?
he wouldn't let. It's Luke Williams. He could do anything.
That would
Anything.
be a sight.
Yeah, well, it could happen. Anyway, the early tempo here is key. I think the Chosen One is a bet. It was cast last start. It's going to get the softest run of all time here behind a good speed.
Yeah.
If it is a brutal speed and it does want 2,000, it's not going to stop.
No.
It showed that it won't stop off its run at Moonee Valley. I think the roughie or the bet here is Humidor each way. Big boy gets the blinkers off, he'll settle better. He was so strong through the line at Flemington that suggests to me that he's still got a real thirst for the line and thirst for racing.
You found it from the yard, didn't you, at Flemington?
No,
Didn't you
it
have it
was
like late in the pick?
No, it's parading like in between you and me. It's enormous. It was no good.
Yeah,
Remember?
okay. No, I mustn't have been standing beside you. I thought you found it.
I thought Humidor's a real gross horse,
I have heard that.
but it was big. I bet it's one big before and at Caulfield. So I think Homesman deserves to be favourite. I agree with Josh about 320 is the right price because of the map. If they scratch a few, that changes.
So for the in-play punters, if there's a heap of speed on it, the Chosen One, Canedna will be the runner.
Yeah, but if there's a few scratchings
Yeah.
and Homesman just rolls across and lobs, they need to get on it or to get out of the race.
I just
Because it
think-
probably won't stop.
I think the price on getting will drift a bit. I think it's a bit of an overreaction from last start.
Oh, 100%.
Look, like, give all respect to it, but I've marked it $12 or something. It probably won't start that price, but it'll start maybe somewhere in between. And then you can't really say the Homes, there's going to be market percentage in there, so Homesman will have to just steady. It won't probably drift either. Otherwise, unless they find something, unless they back Hartnell, which isn't really a money horse. There's not usually a whole lot of money for Hartnell here and there.
Hartnell's market, like what happens with Hartnell, I think will be dictated by the way the track's playing.
Yeah.
If the fence is off and it's really hard to make ground off the fence, he's
They're
gone.
doing that weird sort of like 2-3 off the fence around that bend. Then
So it will just depend on how much rain we get tomorrow and tonight and early Sunday.
Yep.
Okay, race 8, the last race for the preview, which we're just about running out of time for, is the Testarossa Stakes over 1,200 metres. A nice little race. Zoo Style, $3.80. Special reward, $4.20. Military Zone, 7s. Brave Song, $9. Haunted D Lane, $9. All Too Royal L Meach, 16s. Longer the rest. Ross, have you found anything in this race? It is a pretty tricky race.
Yeah, nothing that took my eye, Dicko, but because I feel that if Zoo Style can replicate what it did at Flemington, it was very impressive there, but this is a whole different kettle of fish. The one that I thought, it's probably not going to be ready, I don't know that it's headed there, but I thought maybe like a Manalo Blahnik might be headed to a 2-rack. Would that make sense? That they'd be going there?
Look at them all.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
that was sort of their plan last time. I think they just kept stepping it up. So it might be one that will be charging home late, but I couldn't, Haunted looks a very, very nice horse. Parsifal last start was visually impressive, the second at Flemington when we were there, but yeah, it'll be pure, sort of guesswork for me. I think maybe something Manalo Blahnik at the big odds each way.
JJ?
The last thing I can remember at the Manikato Stakes last year was my buck show was Spirit of Valor flashing for, I reckon he ran a second, didn't he? To Brave Smash. And
Which
it
should
goes
be
around.
$1.40 here.
Exactly, it goes around. It's going to go around at 30-1 and was pretty good last week.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks, last start I should say. So again, not a race that I'll be too heavily invested in, but Spirit of Valor, $30, $40, I'll take it.
Yeah, Zara Sticks.
You've probably done well to remember that far too.
As I said, it was the last thing I can remember before I started spitting on people. And that's not an exaggeration, unfortunately. How's Ross going to test to?
Yep.
Josh. Little Josh.
Case still
Josh.
pending.
For me, Blue Jackets here, Haunted. It's got the Big Good to Your Mother form, who's now a proven G1
100%.
star. It's like, what is this price that they've put up here? And he gets drawn 6. Lane goes on. I just don't see the price. I've marked it about $8. Probably could have been shorter as well. But it's a bet if it's still 13s.
Oh, 100%. It's run second to Be Good to Your Mother from barrier 1, snicked to the coffin.
Yeah.
It's drawn 5 here, gets D Lane on. They're both great jockeys, but if I'm riding at Rose Hill or Brownlee, I want Kieran McAvoy. If I'm riding anywhere in Victoria, give me D Lane every day instead of Kieran.
Do you agree with that, Ross? Darren Lane?
I can't catch him.
I didn't think he was one of yours.
Yeah, the scary one here is
42 days between is a bit of a concern for Haunted, but like, geez, it's a box ticking horse here.
I don't think I've ever seen. I know I'm a bit weird with my trainer and jockey combinations, but I haven't seen Ollie ride for Pruska on the talented I Am Someone.
Does it scare you a bit?
It scares me a bit because he's absolutely airborne.
Pruska or Ollie?
Both, really. For me, also another horse is Ashlaw.
It was
I think
pretty
it's
good.
I think it's like a length better to sort of win this race.
I think you
Got
should
like
put a
10
little
bucks.
little thing on that. If a horse out of that Fatnar group race at the Valley wins the Moir tonight, you need to have something on
Because
Ashlaw
I'm
straight away.
I'm not penning it, but I'm just like putting a grey line sort of through it at the moment, and tonight will be the tell. And if something does well through that race, then Ashlaw.
What did you make of Turbium? Drawn one here. It was given a barrier trial last week. Backs up.
And it had a huge trial. Like its actual trial was huge, like fantastic.
The race was in last week.
No,
Before that,
like the actual
the official trial.
the official trial, the barrier trial. Yeah, the one that they put the horses in. And it had some serious form, tracking distance peak in its first prep. So for me, if that's still $26, I'm sort of steering away from any sort of favourites here. I don't know the price on this. Like, if you could price up this race, could you get special reward that short?
No.
It's just
My advice for this race: don't bet. Or buy the mounting up mail.
I Am Someone scratch too. Isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is out.
Where's he going?
Just out now. Late scratching kind of. Sorry about that. I thought Parsifal was really good in a really high rating race down the straight. Drawn 15. What does it do? It could win, but the race is just. There are so many little setups in this race that I don't like and I'm scared of. And I just think, unless there's a really good parade at a big price, just like Spirit of Valor or something, maybe we'll have a small bet in the race, but that's all we've got. Anything else you want to talk about? Well, that's about us.
I've got a special for the weekend, Ross. Race 6, number 6 at Mornington tomorrow. Just have a quick look at. I'd just like to know the price, please.
Yep, I get it.
I'd like
I
Ross
thought
to
you were gonna
specifically look it up if that's
I
alright.
thought you were going to take us to an angle.
You bring us
Race 6, number 6.
He just
Mornington.
well, he's found one. He found one for us at Annington Trots today. It's $2.40 into $1.90, but you don't like trots, so
Oh,
Jenkins.
That horse raced. This is I have nightmares about it. That horse raced on my wedding night. We didn't know. It won. It paid $3.50. I can only imagine how much we would have had on it if we had known.
would have paid like $2.80. We crunched it
Still
in.
bleeding. Might win tomorrow.
I thought Douglas
It was a
MacArthur.
bit of a joke, obviously. I'm not trying to steer you.
No, but it's
Followers
got ability.
into a
We
big-
followed
yeah, it can
followed
race,
it
but
from the start. Yeah.
It's off the name, obviously.
Well, you've got
bit of a joke.
you've got like Robbie doing Robbie things with Ariel in that race, and Jumbo Ozaki sort of.
Sorry, in that race.
Yeah, up to 1500.
Here we go.
I thought race 7, Douglas MacArthur was a moral at Mornington. One bet for grand final day. Case Bet Cup. So Josh, we have one race each week. We pick a runner. We on the panel can't pick a horse inside $10. So we'll go back to the Underwood Stakes. Got to pick a roughie. If you come last, you got to send about $50 so you can buy a case of beer.
Right.
And then whoever runs first and last gets a free merch pack from betfair.com.au.
Is tonight out of the question?
Yeah, because we won't be able to like manage the
Are we doing we're doing the Underwood.
doing the Underwood race.
Underwood
7.
specifically.
Yeah, so I'll take I'll sit out because there's only
No, take some.
I'll take the chosen one. $12.
Yeah, that's good. I'll take Super Tigers.
I'll take Canenda.
Thanks, JJ.
Oh, he's always just gonna blow up, isn't he? He's always just gonna explain the blow up.
Take Peter Gatt or whatever he's
Take Trap for Fools.
Yeah,
Yeah, trap for fools for me.
Yes.
Oh, good luck. Good luck. Yes, Roscoe.
Yes.
Gonna get some more merch. Get your fresh beanie, fresh hoodie. How good.
Box shorts with the pockets now.
Oh, really? I often get left off the sand anyway.
Yeah, I've had no luck there.
Alright guys, that's us. Best bet for the
You got
weekend is
questions?
Douglas MacArthur at Mornington. Don't have time for the questions.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you coming on. Thanks man, it's interesting.
Hopefully I
Fun.
can come back at some
Well,
point.
you never know. You could be like around every week. moving
Could
forward.
be. Could be. We'll see.
Ross, anything else we need to talk about?
No.
Spring Rolls win last week.
Spring rolls, didn't back it, flat as a
He's
tack.
so flat about spring rolls. Do you reckon they've been skimping on the meat lately?
Where they don't skimp on the meat, him and I can attest to. We'll finish off with just a little story. So we went out for dinner Wednesday night to send off Josh's manager, the best in the business, Mel, who's moving overseas, and we went to Silks at Crown, and there was a little bit of trepidation by everyone because me being the fussy eater that I am, that you guys all know.
I think fussy is the wrong word.
Yeah.
It's right. It's simple.
No, and fussy.
Or limited.
Anyhow, we found some things and spun around the table, and the duck pancakes, Mickey Mouse. So we had them, and then we said, right, let's get a whole duck as well for our main. So we've said, Mel did the ordering with Josh because he was quite keen to get the whole duck. He was trying to get a whole duck out wide for himself as well. Can eat. Whole duck cut into pieces. Yep, no worries. 5 minutes later, more duck pancakes. And we're like, oh, sweet. Someone must have ordered them. Ate the duck pancakes. We're just waiting on our duck. No, you had the duck. We're like, no, they were duck pancakes. No, we put it in the pancakes. You have to specify. And we're like, we don't know how much clearer we could be. We want a whole duck cut into pieces. So anyhow, we had 2 lots of duck pancakes, and they were great.
How many pancakes did you? I wasn't a massive rap for the duck pancakes.
No,
How many?
Oh,
How many?
not as many as Hurley, but more than you.
More Budweisers than duck pancakes.
Easily more. We actually drank them out of Budweiser. They're like, sorry, no more Budweiser.
Hey guys.
And the spring, you were a rap for the spring rolls, though, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm not fussy. I'll eat most things.
Yeah, so we had duck spring rolls and pork spring rolls, but the pancakes were better than the spring
Next week on Roscoe's Eating Adventures, he'll take on some of Essendon's greatest restaurants.
Yeah, we'll talk about the food trucks at the Valley and let you know how they go. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.